Fab Five, I cannot talk today. Fab Five Freddy told me every day's fly. DJ Spin, I said, my. Flash is fast, Flash is cool. Francis says, pass, Flash ain't cool. And you don't stop, a short shot. Go out to the parking lot and get in your car and drive real far. I'm not going to do that whole thing. Rapture's the shit, yo. Joe, give me that countdown. It's Boys in Season 4.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Get over here! Hi, I'm martial art master Daniel Casino. You know me as the original Johnny Cage, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, and Smoke. You are tuning in to NerdCage Live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Don't miss an episode or you'll get caged. So let's finish him.
This is Anthony Marquez, better known as Kung Lao for Mortal Kombat. Make sure to like and subscribe to NerdCage Live. Be there. Us.
Hi, I'm Leah Montalongo, the OG Sindel. Please like, subscribe to NerdCage Live.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe. Okay. Shoot it! All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful.
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe. Run for your life, Joe.
Running.
Run faster. Oh no, Joe. The galaxy's doomed because of you.
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe.
Thank you.
Yo, that's diabolical. Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live.
Resident Evil.
Greetings, citizens! You're now trapped in a nerd cage with your hosts Mark and Jay. We hope you have a smashing good time.
You're now about to witness the strength of geek knowledge. Hello and welcome. That's right. Once again, you are trapped in NerdCage Live. This ain't just a reaction show, but a debate show and a live discussion that everything that makes people like you and I tick. So thank you for joining us once again. Spoiler warning, This is a full-fledged spoiler discussion on The Boys Season 3, Episode 4. Please hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that good shite. I'm your co-host, Jay St. G, Certified Geek, 7 days a week coming to you live from yours truly, Syracuse, New York. And always among us, it is our moderator and Trollhammer, stronger than the DK Banana Slammer. It is Joe from Fall 1 Gaming. What's poppin', my dude?
Oh, we have this star-studded panel once again for this spoiler discussion. We have the Pretty Guardian. We have Dion from Off the Beaten Podcast. We have Josh from Movie and Gaming Aficionados. And Kush from the Hub.
Yes, and Joe, before we go any further, who do we got in the chat?
In the chat tonight, we have Sunzilla 2008 and Severius Veldragon.
Well, hello there. Thank you for everybody for hanging out with us tonight. If you haven't watched The Boys, we're going to spoil it. If you've seen it, great. Let your nuts hang with us as we just go through everything. But before we get started on the full-fledged discussion here, we're going to go around in a circle real quick. And I want everybody to reintroduce themselves, plug themselves in, and just give their general thoughts on episode 4. And we'll start with Kush, man. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, y'all? If you don't already know, find me at The Hub on YouTube and everywhere else. But in regards to the topic at hand with The Boys, episode 4 was amazing. I don't know if you guys remember, last time when I left off, I gave the show, I think it was an 8 out of 10, because I'm like, I have a lot of questions left to be answered. And episode 4 answered quite a lot of questions. For that reason alone, it's probably the best one of the season so far.
Excellent. And of course, we got the lovely Pretty Guardian, my gateway drug to JRPGs. Go ahead, dish it out.
Hello, I am Pretty Guardian. You can find me on youtube.com/Pretty Guardian. Let me be your gateway drug to JRPGs and other fun games. So tonight I'm excited to be here with everybody in the NerdCage to talk about episode 4 of The Boys. I think I might be the voice of dissent tonight and say that as much as I loved it, and I did love it, I've got lots of good things to say about it. To me, it was not the strongest of the 4 episodes so far. So definitely looking forward to breaking it down with everybody here.
This is why it's a debate show. And of course, our dear friend, Joshua Burst from the Movie and Gaming Aficionados YouTube channel and Facebook discussion group. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? I'm ready. I'm ready to get it in. Oh, wait, I'm not muted, right? No, I turned it off. Okay, I thought I muted before. Yo, I'm ready. I got the Power of Mjolnir here. I got my Infinity Gauntlet ready to show my worth to the panel, talk about The Boy a little bit here, and yeah, man, just have a good time. And catch me over Movie Gaming Aficionados. I talk about movies and games, and that's it.
And what'd you think of this episode, man?
It was really good. I feel like I had said this before. I'd only seen it once, and I feel like as you guys talk about it, I'll remember it. There's like very specific things I remember, but when you guys talk about it, I'll remember it more, and I'll be like, oh yeah, and I'll have more to say about it. It's usually
fair enough. And from the Windy City of Chicago, Illinois, Dion motherfucking Miguel. What's poppin', dude?
Yes, I feel like I should be in the middle of the Coliseum and people just yelling at me, go home. No, that was what's up. I'm like, fuck you. It was awesome. So great. Always great to be here with great people, great minds, great topic. 10. That's all I'm going to say. 10. 10, 10, 10. Put a 10 on it. 10. Who's on the $10 bill? Is that Jackson? No.
Well, we definitely know it's a concept of some kind.
I don't know, right? Right. He's like, I got hundreds. Sorry.
It's a dead guy. I know that much.
Put a 10 on it. That's it. But other than that, Off the Beaten Podcast, I talk about Chicago people, Chicago shit. One of the newest graduates of some variation from U Chicago. And yes, 10. That's it.
Yes,
Bye.
sir. And Joe from Fall One Gaming, before you give your general thoughts, go ahead, tell them about tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be going back to play Mortal Kombat Deception Conquest Mode.
Hell fucking yeah. And, of course, tell them about Tuesday.
And on Tuesday, we will be returning to the world of survival horror with Resident Evil Remake.
Absolutely. And also, before Joe gives us, I also just want to promote real quick that this coming Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be the Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm watch party. Kudos to anybody who remembers that cartoon from the 90s. It was a Mortal Kombat cartoon for kids, and we are going to revisit that, watch all 13 episodes. Only lasted one season. So we're going to watch that shit, but joining us will be TabMug99, our Lord and Savior of Mortal Kombat community, as well as Tosi from Komidogu, and Mad Mike Jones, Twitch extraordinaire. Be there Saturday, 8 p.m. All right, Joe, what'd you think of this fantabulous episode?
All right, I think I'm going to side with Pretty Guardian on this one. This kind of slowed down a bit for me. It's still a great show, don't get me wrong. It's still got a lot of watchability and everything. I mean, it's the boys. Come on, man.
Hell yeah.
But it does take a little more of a serious tone rather than they kind of filter out the humor a little bit in this one.
Well, I'll combat you on that, but I will say this season overall, they definitely toned it down a little bit here. I really loved this episode. I think this one was the best one yet. And now we're going to get into it. So that being said, for starters, I am not ashamed to admit it. I am a diehard Blondie fan. I even saw Blondie like 5 years ago at the New York State Fair. It was great. Just saying. Nothing made me laugh harder than seeing fucking Soulja Boy singing Rapture, the rap lyrics to Rapture, and
that was pretty funny.
Fucking died. And what made that fucking scene really awesome, besides, you know, how bad he was at fucking singing that song, was if you remember the lyrics to Rapture where she's rapping, she's talking about, you know, going to the car, drive far away, in the parking lot, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, Mother's Milk starts having, like, you know, PTSD and having, like, you know, flashbacks of whatever the incident happened with him, with his family getting killed by Soulja Boy. So that was actually, and there's something involved in the car crash there. So that was really, really fucking awesome at the same time. It was really, really hilarious. So, guys, what'd you think of that fucking Blondie scene?
Did anybody go watch the whole thing? You gotta go watch. Did anybody go watch the whole thing on YouTube?
Is it on YouTube? I was wondering if somebody.
No, they're all on the Vault channel, right?
It's a good minute and a half of him doing the whole song, dude. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I know. Oh, okay. So
Ridiculous.
There's an extra deleted extended scene.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
it's like
fuck, now I need to see it.
You gotta go see the whole thing.
Dion, now that you mention that, I wonder if they've done that for like every episode so far. Like the VOD channel is acting as if it's like in real life and they're dropping stuff too.
Any song that anybody has performed, like a Supersonic song, full video.
His whole song is on YouTube.
I think it's the whole song. If it's not, it's like 2 minutes of it, if not the whole thing. Like you gotta go see it though. But yeah, like the lounge singing. Obviously, he has no rhythm.
So goddamn funny.
Monotone voice. Like, man, that's so good. Yes.
It's a good clash of tones because, like you said, at first it was very funny. You know, I didn't like, you know, burst out laughing at first, but then they immediately cut, like you said, to Mother's Milk. So it's a good way to do like a callback to whatever the hell happened. Maybe there was a car crash that happened. I'm assuming there was a little car figurine who had that. Oh, the kid. Then the kid had that too. Yeah. So it was. It's a good way to open.
It's all coming back now, Josh, isn't it?
A little bit. Yeah, especially with the end too. With when we actually, we'll talk about Soulja Boy later, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely get into that. Pretty Guardian, you got any thoughts on that fantabulous Blondie scene?
I think Jensen Ackles is just awesome, and he's bringing so much to this character in this show. So I thought it was hilarious, and he's cool.
I just want to know if Deborah Harry has seen that scene. I want to know what her reaction is.
How old is she? She's
in her 70s. She's like 70, 75.
Okay. Wow.
Listen, just saying, she still got it. I don't care if she's in her 70s.
Nice.
I don't care if Deborah is in her 70s. I will rip that diaper off and go to town on her. Just saying.
Oh my God.
Crawling up behind someone's grandma. Way to go, Jay. Way to go.
That's me with that one actress, but I forgot her name that I tweeted about a couple weeks ago.
No.
That one actress, man.
No, for real though. I saw Blondie a few years ago. She's amazing still. She still got it. It just sucks that when I did see Blondie, Chris Stein wasn't there though. It was Deborah Harry and hired guns. I don't think it was any of the original members of Blondie, but it was still fucking awesome. Like I said, she's still a really, really awesome performer, and she's still badass. And like I said, for a woman in her 70s, she looks fantastic. I mean that.
Yeah, that might not be the first, but is that one of the first spoken word rhyme types? Yeah, right?
That was a big deal because like at
hip-hop.
the time, like she, like hip hop really wasn't like full fledged yet. Like
Right.
This was the early '80s, and she was like really one of the first ones to like.
That's before
start
Grandmaster
rapping.
Flash.
This was before Grandmaster Flash and Run DMC.
Okay, wow.
Like, she started. And keep in mind, Blondie's from New York City, so they were well aware of that fucking scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that that's the first rap song ever on MTV.
Yeah.
Like that's what's considered to be the first rap song ever on MTV. So yeah, it was a big deal.
Yes. But yeah, that was, like I said, what a way to start the goddamn episode. Like I said, I laughed, and then like what Josh just said perfectly, they had the clash of tones there when they show Lonzo's character. Which brings me to the next scene that, now, again, I don't know why, Joe, you're talking about the lack of humor. So the boys go to Russia and they infiltrate this dude that kind of reminds me of Harvey Weinstein. And shout out to Karen Fukuhara, who looks fantastic in that silver dress. Just saying. And she uses dildos as a weapon.
Okay, I want to talk about Kumiko for just a minute.
Yeah.
So that scene was great in a lot of ways, but one of the things that I love about her is even though her character doesn't speak much in the show, she's one of the most expressive actors on it, period. Her facial expressions, her tones, like the way she gesticulates, like she is excellent. Absolutely love her.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a really bloody and violent scene, and also in relation to this part of the show, you're seeing the real tension between Frenchie and Kumiko and Billy, because they didn't want to do this mission, and he forced it on them. So it's really like we're seeing like some tension there too.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna.
Oh, go ahead. No, go.
Okay, I was just gonna say I think it's gonna make a great story arc for her, coming from that childhood of being forced to kill, and now we're 3 seasons in, and she's finally had a little bit of an opportunity to kind of make some choices for herself and reclaim a little bit of her personhood, and she's kind of coming to that realization of, I don't want to be a killer. I don't want to do this. This isn't what I want out of life. And I think that's awesome for her too.
And we saw a little bit of that in the first episode too, because when she was at the theme park and she's like, I want to do this, do the roller coasters, and then and then she was like, oh yeah, I don't want to hurt Red Crimson. He's like, she's like, I don't want to hurt this person and whatever. She seems to be a good person. I don't want to do it. So yeah, but now with the whole Russian thing, like we're really seeing like she's really like doesn't want to do these she doesn't want to kill she doesn't want to kill anymore.
Yeah, I wrote down because I wrote when I watched it the second time, I took notes just so I would like kind of remember, and I wrote down this growing rift between Butcher and Frenchie. And one thing I liked about this episode is like, even your likable characters start to become unlike. Like the characters that are likable now start in this episode especially start to become unlikable, right? Later in the episode, we start to see like Huey doing some like kind of weird stuff and, you know, whatever. But I kind of like was like, I think it was the first moment that I didn't like Kimiko's the character, because like her and Frenchie have this thing obviously, but I feel like she slowly kind of pulled him away from what his core purpose has been, right? Which is working with Butcher, doing this job. And now she's like, oh, I wanna go and wander around France. And I'm like, girl, he was killing before you beat it. Go somewhere. Like, I think this is my first moment. I was like, she needs to beat it. Beat it. You're breaking up the team. You're breaking up the team. So I would love to hear everybody else's thoughts. Dude, I was like, this cat's like, yes, run away.
To kind of piggyback off what you're saying, I felt that a lot. Or not a lot, but I felt that mostly during the first season, because the seeds were always planted. No, actually, let me correct myself. The second season, because the seeds were already planted there, and they really expanded upon it when they introduced her brother. And like we've seen Frenchie kind of break away from the team and make stupid decisions, especially in that second season, like when he freed her brother, and it was like, why are you doing that, bro? You doing this for what? So that she could like you? Like, that's kind of a stupid thing to do. And in the moment, he was a very dangerous, like, you know, the brother obviously, unfortunately, ended up dying, but he was a very dangerous person on that boat at the time. But with the third season, now I've really, it's been a year in between the second and third season, right? So it's very clear that they've had major developments in their relationship. They're, like, way closer, looks to be a healthy relationship. I like the way that they interact with each other, and I do like the fact that like Frenchie and her, like I'm a supporter of their relationship. But I will say this, it's funny that we got reintroduced to a character that was completely missing in season 2, which was Cherie, because in season 1, like I could have swore Cherie was Frenchie's girl, and he's out here liking another girl, and I'm like, hey bro, what you doing? And it's never really said, but it's just kind of implied that they may have gone their separate ways. And then now she's back, and it's like fully implied that's his ex, but like they're still on good terms and whatnot. And I'm just like, yo, did she break up the relationship, bro? What happened there? I thought Frenchie and Cherie were like ride or die, because that's the way she was introduced in like episode 1, season 1. She was a ride or die, right? But instead of going off on that whole tangent, I am a supporter of Frenchie and Kimiko now. Even though I don't agree with your take, Dion, I agree with the fact that, yeah, she kind of is breaking up the team. I'm not necessarily against it. I find it really nice, though, that we see some incredible juxtaposition throughout the entirety of season 3 between Butcher and Homelander. You know, you saw in episode 1 with both of them kind of being the wounded dog. But now, kind of with characters that you like and you're starting to not like, especially with Huey. Yeah. You know, you're starting to see, like, I'm starting to get weird vibes from Huey. From Butcher since episode 2 is just like he's going way too far with some things. Yeah. And they fake this out. The reason I brought up juxtaposition, because they were kind of doing the opposite thing with the enemy. They faked this out with A-Train. They almost looked like A-Train was becoming somebody I was gonna like until, you know, he continued to be that terrible person that he is. They almost did that. So yeah. Maybe, you know, it begs the question, are they faking us out with, like, I don't know, with Huey? Like, is Huey just on a little bit of a high and he'll be back to normal when he comes down from it or something? But, yeah.
And it's funny that Huey, you know, took the V-24. I won't go too far ahead because I still want to talk about that Russian scene there with the...
Oh, first of all, choreography, amazing. And they've spoken about this. Karen specifically spoke about this in multiple interviews throughout all 3 seasons. She's spoken about it because she has like the most fight scenes out of anybody, I want to say. Like, she respects and like just has so much respect for the choreography team that works on The Boys, and she's like, they work on that thing for weeks and weeks until everybody gets it right. And obviously safety is a top-notch priority as well, but that's why these scenes turn out so good, man. And it's like, I don't know who's working with her, who's the entire team to, you know, use that as a weapon and still make it work. Obviously with the super strength and whatnot, but that was just a great overall scene.
Yeah, not to mention, like, I got a little bit of shell shock when I was not expecting those girls, that one girl to shoot her in the head. Like, I was just like, oh my God, like, for a moment.
Bro, talk about foreshadowing, because when she got shot in the head, I forgot for a blank second that she could heal. I was like, what's happening? And then obviously we saw what happened at the end of the episode. I was like, that was kind of some foreshadowing, man.
Stormfront, when she broke her neck, that's when she first healed. Or maybe not when she first healed, but
no, remember when she first fought, like her very first time when she escaped and Black Noir came after her, and Black Noir actually killed her, and then she healed.
Right, same thing with the Stormfront thing. Yeah, man, it was a very good scene, and more character development. We're seeing where her head is at, and the only thing I will say is that I think Everything Everywhere All at Once ruined like dildo fighting scenes for me. So I'd already seen one earlier. I had seen one earlier in the year, but that's not to the detriment of the show. I did like the colors though. They were each individually colored.
But what made it fucking funny was the last kill, and then like the dildo starts vibrating, the blood starts squirting.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, I fucking died. Like.
Everything Everywhere All at Once had a butt plug in there too that was incorporated, so they kind of also threw it in.
That made my butt hurt. That's another
Unfortunately, I still haven't seen that movie.
It's one of the best.
Okay,
after the North.
No, it's cool. I was gonna say, but my reference is back to Snatch. I think it's Snatch, right? When a guy jumps over the desk and he's like, you're like, he beat him to death with the
As far as my take on the humor and everything being toned down, I think I have to rephrase the way I said that. Basically, I think me personally, I'm getting numb to some of the stuff because, when you see a guy enter a man's penis and you see and you see hand job stuff and you see all this over the top stuff, and then you get this just beating somebody with a dildo doesn't do much for you anymore.
Well, you want to be numb to it, literally. Yeah. You don't want to feel the pain.
Well.
And I just thought it was so funny. I think Dion just touched on it. Like there was an individual. All the dildos were individual, representing the 7. And like it's just funny that Bot is in the fucking sex toy game.
Like, Bot's in every game, baby.
You know what? I want one of those starlighters. Let me tell you, that looked fun to me.
Bro, the Homelander one, and then what's her name had it as well in a couple scenes afterwards.
Oh my god!
I'll say this though.
Oh my god! That was
to go
so
to what Joe
funny.
was saying. I can see what you mean by that, because this is what any show. If you do something consistently, you're doing it every single episode, like almost 24/7, you are gonna get numb to it. And that is the thing with the boys, right? They're over the top all the time, constantly, consistently, every single episode. So at some point, everybody's gonna get numb to it. Like I know I'm gonna get numb to it. I'm not right now. I'm still enjoying it, but I could see myself like next season getting numb to it. And it's always a danger of any form of media where it's like, if you're doing this every single time, you're not putting a little bit of a break in between. Yeah, the audience is gonna get numb to it. Kind of an obscure reference for any wrestling fans out there, but AEW right now is the main competitor to WWE. AEW is a great company and program and show. The problem with AEW, and this is gonna sound stupid, is they put out too many good matches. It's like you're putting on pay-per-view worthy matches every single Wednesday, and then the audience is getting numb to it. So when you get to a pay-per-view and you do a pay-per-view match, you're like, oh, we saw this last Wednesday. Or we saw something at this level last Wednesday. It's like, you need to have a break. It sounds stupid, but it's like you need to throw in just a terrible match every now and then so that when you see something special, it is special.
Yeah.
You can just make the mid-card. I don't even want to comment on this.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I won't do it. I'm not going to. I don't even know.
But AEW has MJF. So they're right now, they might still have MJF. They're doing good. They're doing good.
MJF?
Oh, if you don't know who MJF is, look him up.
Is that somebody from the past? I might know him if he's from the
No, he's on AEW.
Nah, but he's like the only... The world's last great heel as well.
Yeah, he's Homelander, right? Yes.
Also, going back to the boys real quick when they're in Russia, did you guys notice like the graffiti around Russia and how they're like anti-7?
Yeah, the propaganda, I don't even know if I should call it propaganda, but like just how they view the 7.
Yeah, how they
truth
view
telling.
Not just the United States, but
I'll say this though, yo, some of those like graffitis and paintings went hard, bro. I want one of them on my phone wallpaper. They were really cool.
I know. No, go ahead, Dion.
I was gonna say I'd buy a few of those posters for real. Yeah.
That kind of. I know you guys said you weren't watching. That did remind me of Ms. Marvel with all the graffiti and stuff.
Yeah.
They have that in the end.
I only saw the first 10 minutes. I gotta finish that.
You were just like, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think. Is there anything else before we can get to the? Well, actually, yes. Okay. So before we get to the whole Soldier Boy reveal,
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Before we
probably
get to
more.
that, the confrontation with Huey and Billy about so Huey's the first to learn about Billy using V24. And he's telling him, hey, this is probably not a good idea. And then he's like, wait, I want some of this. And he's like, no, you're not going to touch this shit, blah, blah, blah. And then it turns out behind his back, and it's a good thing he did because the boys almost didn't make it out of that mission. So if Huey didn't take that V24, they ain't getting out of that laboratory. So what do you guys think about Huey now on the V24?
I have 3 words to say about it. Your dick's out.
Yeah, what is his power? He's like it's a Flash, but he's kind of also like naked. He teleports with no clothing or something.
He teleports, but his clothes don't go with him. Yeah.
Nice. That's what I thought. Okay.
And there's obviously some type of super strength with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Where did I write down? I said one of the best, because this came after the Stan Edgar Homelander conversation, and I wrote down, I said one of the best lines so far, right? He called him a pitiful disappointment, and he was like, you're not worthy of my respect. And I was just like sitting there like, that is so dope. And then like 2 minutes later, your dick's out. And I was like, that's the best line.
Right. My favorite is your idiot brain getting fucked by stupid.
Oh, yeah.
All right, before okay.
God, yeah.
Wait, Guardian, what were you gonna say? You were gonna say something.
I was just gonna say that, like, despite my grievances with this episode, one thing I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 for is the nudity. I got to see Huey. I got to see Soldier Boy. I was living for it.
I'll say this, yo, Jensen Ackles, I didn't know that man could be built like that. He went in the lab, man. He went in the lab to get ready for that role.
He went full Will Poulter, man. He went full Will Poulter. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you guys remind me now in the middle, like the betrayal of Nadia.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't mention that, Jay.
Yeah, we got a lot in the middle.
It's been a whole week, guys. Give me a break.
No, I'm with you guys. I'm with you.
Jake is so excited with the blood and guts. See, he's like, let's jump to the fight. Like, no, it's too much.
Because my prediction also came true last week, where I gave the pre-RIP to one of our characters.
Okay, so Josh, let's break that down for just a second, because that's one of the things that I didn't really love about this episode. If you look back last week, you're right. We predicted who was going to die. We predicted what was going to happen with Soldier Boy. Every beat that we're following, we kind of knew it was set up last week. And for me, I didn't really get a lot extra out of that from this episode. So that was kind of one of the things. I don't want to say I was disappointed. It was good, but we kind of knew where it was going.
Even if you know, well, see, I'm in that mindset. I say this all the time because I predict a lot of things very easily, all the movies and stuff I see. Even if I predict something, which I usually do now at this point, if you execute it right, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with how you did it. Even if I'm like, oh yeah, of course, or the story beats will be this hero's going to do this, and this. But what did I get in the middle of that? And I feel like this episode executes all of the good things. Even though we saw it coming. It's still shocking.
You get one thing wrong, though, too. Somebody predicted that Nadia was going to be, the rival for Homelander, and now she's been outed. So that really can't happen now, really.
And we also predicted we were going to see Queen Maeve.
We saw Maeve!
Did see Maeve.
Well, yeah, we saw Queen Maeve in this episode because remember, she was only in the first episode briefly for that movie scene with Charlize Theron. But
I do want to say.
But now we
go
got
ahead.
to see Queen Maeve. She was practicing her sword skills. By the way, she looked good doing. And Starlight talks to her saying like, "Hey, I need your help. We're plotting against Homelander. I need your help." And she's like, I don't give a fuck, blah blah blah. Well, it was cool because I think Pretty Guardian touched on it the other week. Was like, you know, we're seeing her like, you know, we know that Queen Maeve's just, you know, jaded about everything, and like, so it was cool that she got her scene, and that, you know, that conversation between her and Starlight, you know, kind of shedded a lot of light of where she, you know, where her mindset was, you know, a year later after everything that happened post Stormfront.
I want to go back to Joe's point too, and that is a good point, Jay. And I wanted to go back to Joe's point though about Nadia. I don't know if she's played her hand yet fully, because Stan Edgar still thinks that there's hope for her. Like, he wasn't fully afraid. He was like,
yeah, I was going to touch on that.
Oh no, sorry, go ahead. Good.
No, I was going to touch on that too, because he does say, you know, she's an expert at playing both sides.
Right.
So that does kind of, where she still can be used, and that's another thing Homelander said, like, he's using you. You realize this, right? You know, but
right.
I mean, at the same time, I think he's got something up his sleeve a little bigger than her.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, on go off one of Josh's points earlier about the predicting things. I feel like we all do that. Like, anybody that consumes a good amount of media gets to know a lot of tropes and storylines. I agree with what he said, which was like, if it's executed well, it still satisfies me. But also, if they can surprise me with it, I sometimes am satisfied. And that was this case here, because I didn't expect them to go out in episode 4. I thought he was going to last the season at least, but he went out extremely early. And then with the something up his sleeve, I agree, because I mean, Stan was way too nonchalant. I could be completely wrong about this. More like Stan was way too nonchalant up there on the skydeck room, man. I'm like, either Nadia still is with him somehow, or like there is something else.
Shout out to my boy Gus Fring, man. I think Giancarlo Esposito is just imposing no matter what. So even if he has no cards to play, it's like, I don't know, man. You're scared of his presence.
I'm wondering, honestly, God, I think you guys kind of touched on it. I'm wondering if this was this whole thing of her turning her dad, you know, turning him in. I wonder if that's like part of their plan to take down Homelander, to catch him off guard. I don't know. I'm just saying it's crazy, because at first I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's gonna go through with this, and then she doesn't. So I'm wondering if, like, what the hell the end game is gonna be, because oh wow, it's such a great story arc. Yeah.
You reminded me of one thing. When she does confront Homelander does say, "What? You thinking about popping my head off?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah. Well, what are we doing? Like, what, aren't you going to?" And then she doesn't. So that's another big part of it. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe she can't.
I'm wondering, maybe it's because the moment her eyes turn all foggy, he just lasers him and lasers her. Like, I think his lasers are faster than her eyes fogging up.
I just think it's that uncertainty. Like, she doesn't know if it'll work, right? Like, because ultimately, we all know that we have to kill Homelander, right? Like, everybody knows he has to go. And if you try to get him in this one fell swoop and it doesn't work, now you're screwed, right? Because he's going to kill you. Yeah. So I think, and it's funny, I had never thought about what, did Jay just say, or Josh, like this idea that maybe this is a trap, that she's working with her. Like, I had never even thought about that. So I'm like, whoa, that would be great. So, because I mean, the dude's been running the company for, we don't know exactly how long, but a really long time. And I can't imagine he doesn't have a lot of information that'll bring the whole company down, right?
Yeah. Right.
So, and that's why I love that conversation. He's like 80 over 60. Like, you're not even like sweating a little bit. And that dude's like, man, fuck you. Fuck this company. Like, it was just so cool how he just walks out with his drink. I'm like, I want to be that dude someday.
Someday.
I want to be that dude
with
someday.
Los Pollos Hermanos drink and stuff.
I just had a little bit of a light bulb moment myself, because I was thinking about what you guys said about the comics last time, about how Homelander has a clone of him out there. And if that's a thing, if it's in the series in any way, what's it to say that he's not thinking in the back of his head, if you kill me, they'll just clone me and I'll be back, you know?
Maybe. Trying to think what else.
So Josh, last week you had talked about Stormfront, when the way she died so unceremoniously off camera. With this episode, one of the things with the execution, the way that they killed Supersonic, that kind of disappointed me. And so if that's like, I can be okay with it happening once, right? But if that's the tone that they're taking all these really cool heroes and then just killing them off camera, that's not a good sign for me. So I hope that that's not continued throughout the series. I hope that we get some good fights with them and we actually get to see that end, you know?
I agree. The way I look at it for anybody that like watches anime or animated shows in general, usually there's always an episode in just like any season of anime that you notice the quality of animation dips a little bit. And you're like, why'd I do that? And if you watch enough, you know it's because they had to skimp a little bit on this episode because they're saving up a lot of animation for whatever the big final battle is or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking along the same lines. I'm like, it could be production-wise.
I love how you guys are just bummed out that, Supersonic was killed off screen. I'm more bummed that they killed the only Mexican on the 7. I'm half Mexican, all right? So, to see a Mexican guy
I'm not necessarily bummed because, we never got to know, really who he is.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I didn't know that, Jay.
I'm thinking that it could be budget. They're like, yo, we can't show another big fight here because we probably got, 5 big fights lined up or something.
You're right, for sure.
Jay, we had taco bowls. It's fine, okay? Relax. It's fine. No, I'm teasing. That's right. I said it. We had taco bowls. It's fine. No.
Speaking truth to power, you tell him, Homelander.
I'm going to disagree. Jay knows I love it. I'm just teasing with you. But I'm going to disagree because I kind of, the only thing I was really bummed about was we didn't get to see Supersonic's power at all. I have no idea what that dude actually did.
Not at all.
But I really like the fact, I like the fact that we didn't see what happened, right? We just see the aftermath.
It was a shocker,
That Homelander is
was it?
He was so unscathed by it, right? And so everything is building up to this idea, we're gonna kill Homelander. And he brings her and goes, so here's one of your allies, right? And the dude, obviously you see some of what happened. Obviously he ripped half his face off. The dude was ripped limb from limb. And he's like, this is what happens when you try to plot against me. And you're just like, fuck, they're never gonna kill that dude.
And then he's like,
you're right about that, Dion. There was some emotional weight for that. You're right.
And you don't actually get to see it because we've seen what Homelander can do. We've seen him in some situations, but just this idea that we're constantly trying to move towards getting rid of him, and every time you see oh, you can't get rid of him. This lady's not sure she can pop his head. The one guy that was your ally, he done ripped his head off. Oh no! And I really like the fact that you're left to your own devices of what happened.
No, I agree with Dion because it was kind of a shocker. Damn, because I liked the character. Come on, because I'm half Mexican, but I liked the dude, and to see I'm like, oh damn, and it was fucking gross, but and just seeing Starlight's reaction, her hopelessness, oh shit, I'm
right.
And like I said, and then when Homelander's find your own way home, and just flies away, that shit was badass. Not to mention, I don't know if we have, I know Joe is, but I don't know how many Injustice fans we have. But this season, especially this episode, reminds me of Injustice when, how, Wonder Woman and, Shazam were all scared of Superman. They sided with Superman because they were scared of him. Yeah. Even though they knew Batman was right.
No, they didn't.
They're fucking scared of Superman.
Are you talking about the game, or are you see, I didn't read the comics.
So in Injustice, Wonder Woman sided with Superman because she actually believed in his vision that heroes
Are they the same thing, the game and the comic?
Yes, the game and the comics are the same. The animated movie was not. But the general team, Superman's team, most of them were afraid of him. It wasn't because they sided with him; they were afraid of him. So I just that's what this season reminds me of. Is Homelander is the Injustice Superman, and the 7 is the broken up Justice League. They're I like that. I'm sorry, Injustice is
Homelander is so much worse than the Injustice Superman.
So I want to play a little bit of devil's advocate because I agree with what you said, Pretty Guardian. I guess that does go with what I said about Stormfront. The only thing about both of those moments, the Stormfront moment and this moment, the Supersonic moment, they're to help character development. It was to help, show the surprise through Starlight's eyes and kind of let her see that she's in much more trouble than she needs to be. And it's unfortunate that we didn't get to see the death, but I guess we're learning the information is the same as she is. And I guess I can't.
That's a good point,
be
too.
A hypocrite,
Yeah.
though? But should I be a hypocrite, though? Because what I said about Stormfront, it's like, you know what I mean? Technically, that was a thing that drove Homelander over the edge and made his character get there. But I know I would have liked to see that.
And we did learn about that from the same perspective as Homelander did.
Yeah, I guess. Well, you know what? We did see the body at least, though, so you can make that argument. Yeah, you know what?
I think they still have a way to fix this because we never saw his face. His face was torn out.
Oh my god!
And he was cut limb to limb. So that could be anybody in his suit.
Oh, stop!
That's deep. That's
and
deep.
I was gonna say, like, what? How badass would it be if that was actually staged?
That would be so bad.
Later on, he turns out to be on Homelander's side with this whole thing.
Oh my God, yo, Joe!
That's a deep cut. That's a deep one. That's a good.
This is on tape right now.
Like
if that turns out to be true, we are Joe, we're clipping.
Hell yeah.
We're clipping this.
Repeat that one more time, Joe.
You didn't get it? You want it again?
Yeah.
All right.
It's another take.
I'm putting it on right now that I'm predicting that Supersonic is not dead and will be on Homelander's side by the end of this.
So I was actually worried early on in the episodes because of how sweet Supersonic was with Starlight, how genuinely he seemed to be on her side. I was like, oh, it would be so fucked up if he turned out to like betray her with Homelander. Mm-hmm. So Joe, if that comes to pass, like props to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
This brain works. That's
outside the box. I like that.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say also one more thing is like that's even better than what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say like, you know, the way that he exploded, maybe it was Nadia, maybe it was somebody else that did it. Mm-hmm. And you know,
like
maybe
part
it's
of her
both.
deal with Homelander or something.
Yeah, because maybe it's that. Joe's is way better. Joe's is way better than mine. I can concede to that, but maybe it's both.
I just don't see them just killing him off without showing any of his powers.
Maybe we're gonna get one.
Yeah, we still don't know what his powers are.
We might get one divisions and it's just like, nope, what you see is what you got. It's like, oh, your predictions suck. Yeah.
Well, if they're watching this right now, and are they wrapped filming everything?
They've been done for well over a year.
Never mind then.
We gotta talk about.
I know some of these film as they go, so I wasn't sure.
Did you talk about the 4 pose that you guys posted?
Oh, the season 4, baby.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I said it. I was like, I posted. I'm like, we said it, and then the next time they showed the video, I'm like, wow.
Absolutely.
Okay, now before we get to the Soldier Boy reveal, I just want to touch on something I thought that was really fun. The energy drink commercial with A-Train.
Stop.
Okay, listen.
I don't want to talk about it.
That was almost directly shot for shot supposed to mirror the real life Pepsi commercial, man. That was incredible.
That's what I'm saying. They're poking fun at like commercialism and product, product placement.
Corporate greed. Yeah. And then the fault's like, oh, we really care. We don't care.
Yeah.
They want to sell Pepsi.
You know, Jay, you hit on something I hadn't really thought about because I was just reading an article about this day for yesterday. How all these companies are now cashing in on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And like it's become a huge issue because some of the companies have gotten so ridiculous. It's not even right? And I think this is one of the kind of going back to just a lot of the themes this show hits on, man. They hit on themes where you're like, oh yeah, and it makes it a little bit more comfortable to talk about it, like commercialism and using these like real, fucked up methods of trying to make money on the backs of certain issues and people. And I hadn't even really thought about it in that way until
that's what I was getting at, because like it was almost amusing. I mean, I'm not trying to like laugh at it, but like it was just the way this commercial was executed, and I'm thinking to myself like, do these people really believe what they're putting out right now? Like he's like, and they're like, they both like, you see the riot police and the the activists, like they're both drinking the energy drink, like come on, like, but it was funny, but it was also funny because like I said, that I think this was just a poke at like commercialism and product placement and stuff like that,
I just really love that scene followed directly after, not realizing that they're having him and Ashley are having the conversation about the Beetle while they're on the set to film this commercial. And it was like, when that kind of came together in my brain, I was like, he's some dirty dog motherfuckers. Like, dirty dog.
Like, if there's any more reason to hate Bot, like, there you go. Like, gives us more reason to hate Bot.
It was good. That was such a good use that word again, right? Juxtaposition of like these two issues, and that was good. That was good.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up because I know it didn't really. Because I didn't want to forget it. Like,
I hate getting too political on this awesome show, but there's certain countries they didn't show that commercial in, kind of like in real life too. You know.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And I loved his one line. This is important. You should be ashamed of yourself, motherfucker.
Right. Yes.
And it was funny because it was the same episode, right? I don't know if it was this episode or one of the previous episodes, but when A-Train is with his family and he's like, hey, I'm Michael Jordan.
I'm not Malcolm X.
You reminded me of the scene too with him where he didn't get to. He did bring it up to Homelander. Was that this?
Oh,
this episode?
Yeah, that was this.
That was this episode. Yeah.
That was over the taco bowls. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Taco bowls? Okay. Oh, that's what they were eating? Okay.
Yeah, when they were eating the taco.
Oh, yeah. Right,
in honor of Supersonic.
Right. But
I think one of my favorite.
The Deep was the dick. Oh no, good.
Oh yeah. I think one of my favorite lines in this particular episode was and it was Mother's Milk that said it. He dropped Jay's favorite movie series and said, Rocky IV, motherfucker. That was pretty good.
First he was like Red Dawn, and then he said Rocky IV.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, let's get to it. I've been aching to talk about this the whole time. I'm like ready to jump out of my skin. Plus, we're getting close to 10 o'clock here, and I really want to watch episode 5 before I go to bed. So, the reveal, full-fledged reveal of Soldier Boy. Oh my fucking God. Sorry, I don't mean to say the Lord's name in vain. Wow! Holy fucking smokes, man. Listen, I knew this reveal was coming, and I just, like Josh just said, we knew it was coming, but the way it was executed was so fucking awesome. And then the goddamn, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Havoc from X-Men. He fucking shoots the beam out of his abdomen, and then okay, listen. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let you guys talk. Let me just get this out there real quick.
No, get it out there.
I'm telling you, they are making Soldier Boy into a weapon to kill Homelander. And this is another proof. Because not only have we saw the graffiti, not only have we saw the anti-7 graffiti all over Russia, but the fact that the beam projected out of his stomach I'm sure Kamiko's not going to die, but like hurt Kamiko and she can't recover. I'm telling you, they are making him to fight Homelander, and this
it does something that nullifies her powers.
Yeah, but we don't know if she's not going to die.
My theory, after seeing that, was that whatever that beam is, that is what BCL Red is, and that is how they got him.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe it was some type of beam that they shot him with, and then they experimented so that he could emit that as well. But whatever BCL Red from the papers is, I think it's something. It's like the anti-compound V. It just takes away your powers, whether it's permanent or for a short amount of time. I think that's his trump card against Homelander. If he takes away his powers, he could just beat him up.
Yeah.
It's like the Judas bullets for Luke Cage.
How many years has Soldier Boy been in Russia now? Like, do we ever
At
get
least
a
40.
solid?
Since the 80s.
Soul Train was on long time.
Since 1984.
It was,
since
the Reagan era.
It was 1984, they said.
Jesus.
So 40 years. Almost 40 years.
So I was hoping for more with the Soldier Boy reveal, but we got to see his power, like at least some of his power. But I'm assuming at this point he's a Russian, right?
Yeah.
He probably speaks Russian. He's probably anti-American. I'm assuming.
Do you think so?
He's that dude.
We were saying that was the Cap thing, where he was a Hydra agent in the comics.
All along.
Yeah, something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, shout out to that little gerbil.
Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Merci, Jamie.
That was cute. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was good.
That butcher scene to me was to me that was the best scene of the whole episode. Was the butcher scene when he just kind of looked at Huey and Huey's like, "Well, fuck it, go ahead," and he just like he's in his true element, and you get to finally hear him, "Oi, cunts," and they're like, you know, and then he just starts like beaming people. That to me was the bad. Like I enjoyed that actually a little bit more than the Soldier Boy reveal, but yeah.
But just that.
Oh.
Is great.
Also, the discussion I did. Now I remember. This is one thing that made me feel like really sad. The discussion with Frenchie and Kimiko about like, oh, we can go right after this. We'll go anywhere you want to go. And now like it might never happen because she might die. She might be dead. We'll see.
I don't think she's dead because she was going on about, you know, she was in that season 4 promo video, so I don't think she's dead.
They might just put her in there.
She might be. I might say this though. She might go into like intensive care and she may not be. She'll be out of commission for the rest of the season. Which that's another thing. That now we take away the most powerful member of the boys. I mean outside Butcher taking the V24, but now you take away the boys' greatest weapon, and now they're more vulnerable than ever now. So and of course, and like I said, it was pretty intense. I'm gonna cry. I don't want to say that. I love Carefree Power, but she's not gonna die.
Yeah.
But just
I love
the way
how you have to keep telling yourself she's not gonna die.
Yeah, I know, right?
Keep telling yourself that, right?
I'm just saying the way that was executed and the way she took the beam and like, you know, and then Archie's like, she's not healing. I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, oh my god, they are making him the weapon to defeat Homelander. So like,
well, all she did was lose her powers. So just shoot her up with some compound V, and she'll be all right again. Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe she'll heal in the grave. Maybe she'll resurrect. See, now I'm getting You
guys want zombies so bad. Look,
rewind that.
Like they think she's dead, they bury her, and then she breaks her way out.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, yeah, this is just, yeah. All right. So, okay. I don't mean to cut this stream short, but since Dion revealed the news of episode 5, okay, is there anything else you guys want to touch on episode 4 before we kind of like do our closing thoughts? Is there anything that we didn't cover?
Oh, there's maybe left.
No, man.
That's it.
I'll just say real quick, you know, your idiot brain getting fucked by stupid and that fucking the Homelander strap on, that shit was funny. I just wanted to throw that out there. That just the way he looked at it. It's like, I'm gonna punish you, and then he like looks at this giant fucking strap on, and then he's like, oh wow.
I'm gonna tip my hat to Cameron because he knew what he wanted, and he saw that door open, and he's like, well, what happens if it is? And she pulls out this huge dildo, and he's like, hell yeah, I'll ride that train all night long. And I was like, I literally on my couch went, respect, dog. Like, I feel you. Go for it.
And Dion, thank you for telling me about the bot channel, because now that it resonates more with me, his character, the Cameron. Yeah. I've been watching those; they're pretty funny, man.
I just love how Ashley's trying to become I can't remember the name of her predecessor, but she just can't quite do it. Like she's just not strong enough.
And Homelander's just being such an asshole to her because he misses her, so he's an asshole to this.
Yeah. By the way, there's something that I noticed because I didn't rewatch episode 4, but I rewatched the episode where they went to the Red River home. And I'm sorry, I can't remember if anybody said this. If you did, respect to you. But a name popped up. It was the name of that creepy kid with like the fast teleporting powers.
Yeah.
His name is Teddy Stillwell. That's Madeline's baby.
Good
no.
connection.
The lady said Teddy Stillwell, no teleporting inside the home. I didn't realize until I went back and watched it. I was like,
Kush, you're getting
that's
this.
the baby. I don't know. I don't know if they're just throwing that there because why not? Or if it's actually a connection into the future.
Worthy, man.
Do that again, Josh. Do that again.
Worthy, man. This is for you, man. You can hold it.
Hey, thank you.
You can pick it up.
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, that just caught, like, I'm like, how did I miss that when I first watched? Because she just said it, but yeah, we'll see if it amounts to anything. We will see.
Good catch. Nice.
Wow, that is a good catch. All
I
right,
was talking about, yeah.
Wait, who does she have a kid with?
I don't know. Did we know she had a husband in season 1? But don't you remember she had the baby?
Didn't she bang Homelander? Or no? Am I making that up?
I don't think they ever actually had sex, though.
Maybe it was a test tube baby. Like,
could be anything.
I thought they did have sex, or maybe.
But she had the baby in season 1. It was a big part of season 1.
I remember the baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Saying something about it?
Well, I don't know. Homelander's got more kids than I do. That's damn shame.
Wait a second. She had the baby. She wasn't pregnant when he melted her face. I don't remember. Oh man.
She had the baby. The baby like was there from like episode 4 or 5 in the parking lot stuff.
Oh,
and then
she was
threatening
lactating
to kill the baby and stuff like that in the finale. So yeah.
Right.
Do you remember all the breast milk?
I thought the baby died because I don't think they
Yeah.
ever. I don't know if they ever implied the baby survived. It was always implied that he died with Madeline, but
but he didn't.
Maybe he teleported out of there. Who knows?
The team against Homelander just gets bigger and bigger.
Yep.
I'm still not convinced that Edgar doesn't have powers. I still think
if he does, he's doing a really good job not revealing them.
I still love the idea that maybe he has like some Charles Xavier, like some sort of mind power.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine anyone talking to somebody like that unless you got something to back it up. I mean, he just called him. He called him.
Right.
It was so great. I thought about that. I said, who would I ever say to, like, you don't deserve my respect? Just look like square in the face. Like, those are fighting words. Like, I just can't imagine. So I'm hoping that Homelander just gets tired of him and just shoots him, and then he's like, well, that cat's out the bag, and then he just whoops his ass. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So it is 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. You guys just want to do? We'll just go around, do our closing thought, rating 1 through 10, and everybody plug one last time. Or is there anything else you guys want to touch on real quick, or you guys ready to close it up?
All set.
All right.
What?
All right. So Kush. All right, go ahead. Was 1 through 10, and plug yourself in.
So I'm gonna stick with the 10 out of 10 for episode 4. I feel like I got all my thoughts out, and if it wasn't, somebody else got their thoughts out, which had lined up with mine. So it was pretty good discussion as usual. Happy to be on here. Thank you for having me on. You can find me at the Hub on YouTube and every other platform. Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. It's the same handle. And that's about it, man.
And links are in the description. All right, Pretty Guardian. Give this episode a rating and go ahead and plug yourself away.
Absolutely. You can find me at youtube.com/prettyguardian. For this episode, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for the dildos and nudity and an 8 out of 10 for everything else. So definitely enjoyed it and looking forward to the rest of the season. And thank you so much for having me here on the NerdCage.
Of course, absolutely. Anytime. All right, Joshua from Movie and Gaming Aficionados, man, plug yourself away and give this episode a rating.
Movie and Gaming Aficionados, like I said, man, check out my channel. I do some great reviews. I would go 8, a solid 8. Sounds good. It's I can't complain, you know what I mean? I mean, we're blessed to have great shows like this, you know what I mean? And this was very good, very entertaining. I'm excited for the next one. All right.
Yes, and we get to watch it now. It's great.
Yeah.
Dion McGill of Off the Beaten Podcast, Chicago's finest. Go ahead. We already know, but give your rating again and plug yourself away, my friend.
Absolutely. 10 out of 10. This episode had it all. As PG said, it had dildos, it had nudity, it had violence. It was like a Saturday night in my house, but I could just stay there and not have to incite it all on my own. I will say this also. I'm surprised no one brought this up. This was the idea that I tucked myself to bed with. Maeve waking up tits deep in some random fuck pile. I was like, oh, and I'm going to bed. So Yes, 10 out of 10 off the beaten podcast.com. Yeah. And I do a podcast, and I've been threatening a YouTube page for some time now, but go and subscribe to it.
Yep,
Anyway.
links in the description, everybody. Now, so just plug everybody's YouTube channel in the chat as well. Joe from Fall One Gaming. Before you give your rating, just remind everybody about tomorrow.
Alrighty, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will be going back to play Mortal Kombat Deception Conquest Mode.
Oh! And tell them about Tuesday as well.
And on Tuesday, we go back to the world of survival horror with Resident Evil Remake.
Absolutely, and I think we're pretty much close to finishing up Resident Evil. I think we got a couple more streams left, but we got other games planned down the line here. But all right, Joe, go ahead. What would you give this episode rating 1 through 10?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm starting to get numb to a little bit of the humor, but it's still one of the best shows on TV, for sure.
Absolutely, man. No, that's fair. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Let me repeat that. 10 out of 10. This was the best episode yet. The show keeps getting fucking better and better and better. It's just mind-blowing how consistently good this show is. I loved everything about it. It was a butt ton of fun. You know, again, nudity, dildos, blood, guts, plot twists. Oh my God, just more. Like, seriously, I want to inject this shit in my veins like V24, and I want more. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad that I get to talk about the best show on Earth with the best people on Earth on NerdCage Live. Again, I just want to give it up to my fucking awesome-ass panel. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. And I absolutely hope we can have you guys come back next week as we discuss episode 5. Same nerd channel, same nerd time. Again, thank you. You guys are the best. And I urge everybody who's watching and urge everybody who's listening, please subscribe to these fantastic people. Not only that they are fantastic and talented content makers, but they are also fantastic friends. And I'm telling you, without these people, I don't know what I would do on NerdCage Live. Honest to God, I love the fact that I get to do this shit with these guys and these gals, and it's just, yeah. I cannot wait to chop it up next week. I mean, this Boys Season 3 has been a wild ride, and I want to keep riding this wave for a long-ass time. So, again, thank you to everybody. I guess we'll wrap this shit up. We'll be here back next week. So we please ask you to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and spread this shit like Compound V. So to you I say, from yours truly, Syracuse, New York, New Jersey, New York City, Chicago, Illinois, Portland, Oregon, to all our friends and fans around the world at NerdCage Live, the hub, Off the Beaten Podcast, Movie and Gaming Aficionados, and The Pretty Garden. As always, enjoy life, stay safe, eat your vegetables, do your push-ups, say your prayers, keep watching The Boys, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Stick around for these awesome-ass promos, motherfuckers. Woo!
Resident Evil.
NerdCage Live and gaming are a perfect match.
Shoot the J, Joe.
Okay.
Shoot it!
All right.
Over on NerdCage Live on Twitch, Jay and Joe go live.
Call me Bazooka Joe.
It's all about you.
Kaboom!
Playing both old school and new school games every Tuesday night. Ooh, what a sight!
Jay, stop looking at her face and run.
But she's so beautiful!
So be sure to follow NerdCage Live on Twitch.
Run for your life, Joe! Run for your life, Joe!
Running.
Run faster! Oh no, Joe! The galaxy's doomed because of you!
To scratch your gaming itch.
Oh, nice kick, Joe!
Thank you.
About you.
Yo! That's f***ing diabolical!
About humanity.
Wait. Yo!
That's twitch.tv/NerdCage Live. Ooh, trying to get out of the NerdCage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!